Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Some in presence, some I understand also online. I'm Béatrice Deshayes. I'm a former co-president of FindexII and today co-manager of the project FindexII, and it's a pleasure to welcome you here. We will drive you through the day through some presentations and also some moments where you have or you are needed to participate. We are starting with a short project presentation, and it will follow a presentation of the consensus conference by Jean-Raymond Lemaire, an update on the current status of experts registers in Europe. Then you will be able to present yourself shortly so that we keep this within an hour and may have our lunch break at 1 o'clock. Then we will have a presentation of the financial aspects and then a more detailed presentation of the working packages and working groups within these packages, where you can choose or select one of the working groups where you would like to work in. And we will close at 4 o'clock, so everybody can go home this evening. So I will start with a presentation of the members of the project steering committee. Maybe the people I name can just stand up and we can identify them. Project leaders are Jean-Raymond Lemaire from EEI. Mr. Wolfgang Jacobs from Euroexpert, or PKS, yeah. Project managers are Bernhard Flotter and myself. The financial management is done by Philippe Jacquemin. Philippe, are you here? He's online, huh? Okay. The other members of the steering committee will be the leaders of the work packages 2, 3, and 4. I think leader of work package 2 is already selected, is Claude Vallée. Welcome, Claude. And for the other work packages, I think we will still select them. Communication is done by Martin Otter and Katharina Bloitke. Not sure she's here. No. Okay, welcome. Project assistant, I think everybody knows already, Nathalie Sillon. Thank you, Nathalie, already for the organization. She's been very active in order to welcome you all. And we'll have another project assistant who is currently being hired. The scientific supervision will be done by the scientific committee of EEI, which is led by Professor Cuniberti, who is not here today. I think you all know why you're here and what is this project, but maybe be reminded a short a summary of what we aim for in this project. Some may have the feeling that we all already know what is or should be a judicial expert, but we feel that it is very important to have a common understanding throughout Europe of the minimum criteria for a person to qualify as a judicial expert. And this is in terms of competence, technical competence, specific knowledge of procedural rules, but also ethics. Then we will try to build up a list of standards to be made by bodies in charge of keeping experts directories in the member states. You will see when Bernhard does his presentation that experts lists or directories are very, very different in all the member states, and it will be the goal to find standards to be met by these bodies. Then we will put up a business plan for the creation of a European register of judicial experts and how it could be operated. This is future. Then there is, when we build up a common European register, we also need a common or a convergent nomenclature of experts in the member states, up to the definition of a process which will allow the existence and maintenance of a common nomenclature of the fields of expertise at the EU level. And then we will build up a demo IT tool. This is based on 6 pilot member states in order to try to interconnect national lists and to implement a European search engine for judicial experts, including proposal to ensure sustainability of the project, because of course we don't want these projects to be finished after the 2 years. Pilot countries, you probably already know. This is Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Poland, and Romania. Maybe a short explanation also of why we choose these pilot countries. These are countries where there are some experts lists. They are structured already. Most of them as registers, but with also very different structures from member state to another one. And these are also countries where we know we have good partners, we can work together, and are ready to participate in the project. We hold this to a limited number of pilot countries, because for the IT tool, we really needed to be limited to a short list. But then, of course, the project should expand to all member states. I will present you the work packages. Maybe you are worried about what is the difference between a work package and a working group. Work packages are actually needed by the European Commission, where we presented the project on the first stage in order to have a project structure. So it is when we presented the project, it was requested to have these work packages where we can define also the budget to be given to each work package and the milestones and deliverables to be achieved by each of these work packages. And then in some of the work packages, we will build up different working groups. So we'll see, you have the first work package. One is project management and coordination. This is actually done by the steering committee of the project, which we shortly presented before. This is coordination, organization, budget monitoring, and so on. And of course, we have to do also the evaluation of the project in the end and the information to the public. Work package 2, it's a convergence work on national registers with the, I would say, rather intellectual approach we mentioned before, with convergence work on what is judicial expert and what are the standards to be met by registers. Work package 3 is a work on nomenclature. Work package 4 is the IT part. It will be partly subcontracted because this is really technical work. Work package 4 is the communication. And 6 is the really organizational part of the conference of consensus, which will be presented by Jean-Raymond afterwards. A few words on work package 2. This is the place where we will try to have this definition found out of the criteria for a person to qualify as judicial experts, and also the standards to be made by bodies in charge of keeping experts directories. Keeping experts directories, putting experts on the list, maintain the list, also maybe refuse experts or say whether expert can stay on the list and so on. And then also the specification of a business plan for the future European register of judicial experts. This is the tool, and the working groups we will speak about in the afternoon, where you can choose to be in, if you choose to be in work package 2. Just a short presentation. It will be detailed afterwards, I think after lunch. So we thought that working group 1 could be the definition of the criteria to be a judicial expert. Working group 2 could be the definition of the standards to be met by bodies in charge of expert directories. Working group 3 would be the requirements for experts to be registered in directories, including also procedures to be put on the experts register. Maybe in working group 4 are the requirements for experts to stay on these experts directory. So also the assessment of the quality, maintenance of some criteria which will be defined, can be training, insurance, whatever. So this will be the structure of the working groups you can work in. In nomenclature convergence, the work package 3, at the current state, we think there will be no subdivision into working groups. It will be one working group, which will work about how we can introduce convergence into nomenclature of disciplines, of experts, or at least matching systems. I'm not sure if you will address it also, Bernard. These are very, very different systems also in each member state. Some nomenclatures have like 20 parts of nomenclature, and some have 700. So this is really a hard work to put some convergence into it. In the previous project, Find an Expert 1, actually, we tried to have a first superstructure of such a nomenclature, which we can work with. But this is really a big work to do, and at least we will try to do it on the 6 pilot member states. But of course, the global goal is to try to achieve it for all member states. And this is to define sort of roadmap would be the second goal. IT part is first of all to define the technical requirements and design for such an IT search tool, and then the implementation of the tool, which will be done by a subcontracting team. This I show you just to give you a very short insight on what are the different elements you have in work packages. You have tasks, you have milestones, and you have deliverables. This will also all be put into one Excel sheet in order for us to have a good organization and supervision. So you see the different tasks I mentioned before. These are put into milestones where you see the, I don't know if I can show it, no. The 12, 18, and 24 are the months from the beginning of the project. So it is deadlines in order to have these milestones achieved. So if you see the criteria, common criteria for judicial expert, so we thought that this have to be submitted before the consensus conference will be, which will be done in months 13 to 15 of the project. So if you see 12, this means project starting March 2022. Actually, it has to be submitted until February 2023, and so on for the next steps. So the requirements, the business plan, and so on. And these milestones are put into deliverables, which are documents we have to hand out to the European Commission as results of our project. So you have this list of criteria, you have this list of requirements, and you have a business plan. Same for work package 3, which is nomenclature convergence. So the tasks are mentioned, and then it is put into milestones and deliverables. The first actually milestone and deliverables of this work package is already now in 5 months. It is in August 2022, because it is only checking making an inventory of existing nomenclatures, at least in each pilot member states. Of course, if we reach more, it's even better. This will be taken from the different member states and translated. We have some budget for translation into English, so we can know what is the content of these nomenclatures. And then our next delivery or deliverable after 12 months, to make a sort of draft for the consensus conference. Then we have the roadmap as the next deliverable at the end of the project, 24 months. We still have some time. Bernard, are you the timekeeper?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. Just to show you the global figures of the project, the total budget of the project is 360,000, which is funded by the European Commission for an amount of 324,000. It is only co-funded. We always have to put some budget ourselves. So the financial partners are doing that, EEI and Euro-Expert, with our contributions from our associations. And also there is some income coming from the consensus conference, where we will have some paying participants. Volunteers can be also retributed for some part of the works. This is the first time we do that. We noticed that there is maybe a need for some of the participants to have some payments done, but it is really only thought for solid works on deliverables, not only for participation in meetings and so on. This is travel and subsistence costs, of course, for the people who have to meet in presence. There will be, of course, some part of the meetings in Teams or any online tools, but for efficient work, we also have to meet in presence. Some of the travel and subsistence costs are also done for traveling to countries which are not participating and trying to include them also in the project, show them what we are doing. The budget of the big conference of consensus is also integrated, and some translation work, rather from the languages of the member states into English, and then also from English into some other languages. Subcontracting part for the IT, and indirect costs, which is like a percentage of the global budget. So you see the overall planning of the project. We start today. This is the kickoff meeting. Thank you for being here. As the working groups will be built today, and we have to have a leader for each working group. And you will be able to have first meetings, hopefully already in May. Then the work will be work in progress in some months. And as I told you before, the first deliverable is already in August. And the next deliverables in 10 months from now, in February 2023. We will have the big conference of consensus next year at this part of the year, at this time of the year, and then some additional deliverables in August 2023, and the final tools, especially the IT tools and the booklet and project outcomes in the end of the project in February 2024. So this is all from me. Of course, you can ask some questions, but maybe we will have a more interactive part also in the afternoon. And I will give the floor to Jean-Raymond for the content.